Hello, what's up everyone? This is Stefan from projectlifemastery.com, and I thought I'd post a live Ask Stefan Q&A right now where I'll answer your guys' questions if you guys are live right now on YouTube. I've been doing this now every few weeks and also doing some individual videos basically answering your guys' questions. And I like doing the live stream like this where I can answer as many questions as possible in a short period of time, maybe over the next half hour, the next hour, just because I can get to a lot of your questions and make sure that I get to them. And some of the questions you guys submit, I feel like they're not really worthwhile creating a separate video for, because a lot of the questions you guys might have might be very niche specific questions that not everybody would benefit from. So if there are certain questions or subjects that you guys want to know more about, I will create a separate video for that if that will benefit as many people as possible that follow me on YouTube. However, some of the specific questions you guys have, I can also answer in these Q&As right now. So if you guys are live right now and you guys have any questions for me whatsoever, the way that you can submit your questions to me are by tweeting me at Project Life Mastery. You guys do a search on Twitter for Project Life Mastery, or there's my Twitter handle in the description of this video, or you can tweet me at Stefan James. Again, my Twitter handles are there. And when you submit a question to me, make sure that you use the hashtag AskStefan. Okay, very, very important, because if you don't use a hashtag, then the chances are I'm not going to be able to see what your question is. Even if you guys have a question for me on YouTube, use the hashtag AskStefan in your question, because when you use the hashtag, I can easily search for it and I can make sure that I answer them in videos like this. So for example, on this video, there's some people that asked me questions last time that I didn't get a chance to answer, and I have a list here in front of me where I'll do the best that I can to answer some of those questions. So again, if you guys have questions for me, it's not smart just to leave it in a comment. Use the hashtag AskStefan or tweet them to me. Use hashtag AskStefan. Again, that's the best way that you can get your questions answered by me, so that I can do a search and filter through all the questions in an efficient way. All right. Now let's jump into some of the questions that you guys have submitted for me. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a Cavs jersey right now. Go Cavs. I'm a huge LeBron James fan, but I just love basketball in general. So I'm rooting for the Cavaliers. I also like, San Antonio. I do like Golden State as well. I'm not like a rabid, super loyal fan to one team. I just enjoy basketball altogether, and I root for multiple teams, which it makes it very enjoyable. But that's why I'm wearing the jersey right now, because the playoffs just started, which is pretty cool. So if you're a basketball fan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Leave a comment, share with me who you're rooting for and who do you think is going to win the championship. All right, so let's get to some of the questions. All right, so here's a question from Hassan Khan on Twitter. Can you make videos on trading? Yes, I can. I have some plans in the future to share a little bit about investing and trading, but I will say that I'm not the number one expert for that. It's not my expertise. I've read books on trading. I've learned a lot about it, and I do trade, and I do have an investment portfolio of stocks over $1 million now, if you guys follow along with my monthly goals reports. But I don't really have a specific method to really teach or share. Maybe I can provide some tips and advice on that and share a little bit about my portfolio. But I will mention that I live in Canada. Right now I'm in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, but I invest primarily in the Toronto Stock Exchange. I invest primarily in blue chip stocks, companies that are going to be secure, that are going to stick around for a long time. Everything that I buy pays a dividend, so they either pay a monthly or a quarterly dividend, because I want to make sure that I'm earning passive income from my investments. And then also, all the investments that I have, they're on a drip, which basically means that when I get paid the dividends every month or every quarter, they automatically get reinvested to buy more shares. And so it compounds over a period of time. Everything that I invest in is always long-term. I'm always thinking long-term with everything. I never do anything for the short term, for the most part. So if I can benefit from capital gains, which I will as well, basically means that the investments will grow over a period of time. If you look at the trends in the stock market, since its inception, it's always been up I always invest long-term because also whenever the market goes down and there's a drop or if there's a recession, whatever it is, I always just see that as an amazing opportunity to buy more because all these quality companies and stocks are on sale and you can invest and buy more of them. So that's kind of my belief system with that. But everything is long-term. I don't focus as much on capital gains. I do have a long-term strategy, but you know, potentially selling certain stocks. I do have a few investments that you know, stocks that are more risky and will be a little bit more short-term ones. And short-term, I mean, but like within a year or 2 years. And those are the ones that I kind of, you know, I don't put significant money into risky things. I just kind of see it as my Vegas money. And if it, you know, goes up, great. But I'm also, you know, willing to lose that money as well. You know, I understand the risks that are associated with it. I don't go too much into those ones, but you know, there's a lot of profit that could be made, but there's also potential losses as well. So that's not the bulk of my investing, and I don't really actively trade. I'm more of an investor than a trader. A trader is someone I believe that, you know, is always active every day trading. For me, I just don't have time for that. You know, I like to take a more, you know, I'm active with my investments, but I don't. You know, I check in on them every day, but I'm not like trading every day or anything like that. I just check in on my investments, and I'm very strategic about what I invest in. I do the research on it, and I make sure that the opportunity is right because timing is everything. You want to make sure that you're buying low and you're selling high. So that's what I'll say about that for now. But again, I'll maybe do another future video on that sometime down the road. All right, so next question is from Kevin Hughes on Twitter. Excuse me, or it might be on YouTube. Okay, hi, quick question. Hope you might do a video as it's different. Can you tell us about your grooming routine, please? I'm interested in how often you shave your head and what with, please. Just started doing mine. Thanks and keep up the great work. First of all, awesome, congrats on going bald. For me, actually shaving my head was one of the best decisions I ever made. People always ask me, why did you shave your head? Well, over the years, you know, my hair was slowly thinning out, and you know, it's funny how, you know, when you guys that are similar to me or guys that had thinning hair or losing their hair or receding hairline or whatever, you could probably relate to this. It's actually a big deal. It's like feels like your whole sense of identity and who you are because you've had hair your entire life, and even if you have hair, you spend time, you know, putting gel in it or making sure it looks good or whatever it is. You know, when I finally shaved my head, it just gave me so much more confidence. It just kind of like freed me of this insecurity that I had and made me feel just so much better about myself. And it's just one less worry that I have now of having to worry about how my hair looks and the wind messing it up and all that sort of stuff. And I remember at the time, you know, I was really like nervous about shaving it. And my girlfriend at the time, she was just like, yeah, let's just do it. And so I just went for it. And I accepted, you know, if I didn't like it, I could go back. And sure enough, I did like it. And, you know, I one day on YouTube, you know, I had hair and the next day I didn't. And sure enough, the amazing thing was people that followed me on YouTube, they didn't say anything bad. They didn't say anything negative. A lot of people said they liked it. And I think that is like the real test that really gave me a confidence boost because people on YouTube or online in general, they're going to tell you what they think. They're going to be totally honest with you because they don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. So they're going to tell you if it looks good or if it looks bad. So I took that as a good indicator, and it's been a few years now since. But for me now, I love it, and it's great. I don't really have like a fancy grooming routine. There's no secrets or anything like that. I just use like I think like a Mach 3 razor or maybe the Gillette Fusion. Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me what I shave with as long as I have a good quality razor. I use like right now I'm traveling. I don't like, I stay away from any products that have chemicals in them. So I stay away from shaving creams and things like that. It has to be natural. So I actually use soap, and it's called Dr. Bronner's soap. And you might have heard of it, Dr. Bronner, do a search for him. But he just makes these really awesome natural soaps. And I use that when I shower and everything. And so I always shave in the shower. And I use that, just kind of put that on, make sure my head, the steam or whatever, my head is warm. And then I just use that to shave. And then I just, trim my beard. And I also, I trim my beard every maybe I don't know, maybe 3 days or so, and shave my head every 3 days as well. So that's pretty much it. Nothing really fancy with shaving my head, or nothing really magical about it. It's just keeping it up, and I just do it when I shower, and it's just fast and easy, and I don't have to really think about it very much. Okay, John Brown has a question. Can you share how you use Evernote daily for your RPM? I actually have a YouTube video that might be out, I'd say over the next few days. It might be out tomorrow, or it might be out sometime this week, but it's a YouTube video where I actually share a new project that I'm working on, a new big goal, a new online training program. And I reveal more information about it in that video, but in that video, I show you my RPM in Evernote, and I answer that question, because I have seen this question and it's been asked, and maybe I'll do another separate video that just covers how I use Evernote to plan out my day, and also for just taking notes, and it's part of my daily life. But that video that's coming up, make sure that you watch it, because it will go into that in a lot more detail. Cool. And for those of you that are just joining us right now live, like I said before, if you guys have questions for me, tweet them to me, and my Twitter handles are in the description of this video. So tweet me your questions. Make sure that you use hashtag AskStefan. Okay, very important. That's what allows me to find your questions. Or if you want to leave your question as a YouTube comment, then again, use the hashtag AskStefan. At any point in any of my videos, or at any point in the future, if you want to ask me a question, make sure that you use that hashtag AskStefan, because that's what allows me to easily find your question, and I'll do the best that I can to answer them for you guys. So let me jump now to Twitter and YouTube and see if we've got anything new. Okay, Jim Johnson has a question. How do I keep consistency in mastering my passion? I need to keep momentum, but it's difficult to avoid burnout. Well, first of all, if being consistent with a passion, I think that that doesn't really make that much sense to me, because if you're really passionate about something, you shouldn't really have to worry about consistency. It should just be something that you just are so passionate to do, that you love it and you enjoy it so much that you just want to do it all the time. Now, burnout does happen, and it is important to take breaks and be strategic about that. For me personally, if I take off at least 1 day a week where I just do nothing, I just avoid my business, and that's enough for me to avoid burnout. Other times, though, I don't take any breaks, and I can go several weeks without taking any breaks. But I do take vacations every 3 months, or I go travel, or I do fun things with my girlfriend or my friends or whatever, and that's enough for me. But for the most part, I just put out a video on YouTube, I think 2 days ago or so, on how to be consistent. And for the most part, though, if you love what you're doing and you're passionate about it and you're addicted to it, you're obsessed, you don't really have to worry too much about consistency. When you associate pleasure to the process, you really enjoy it. Again, it's just automatic. It's just an automatic part of your life. Now, typically at the beginning stages of anything, when you want to start something new, there can be resistance to doing it. That's the most challenging part, is developing a new habit. You just got to get past that pain period. You have to get past those first few weeks where it requires your discipline, your willpower, but then eventually you have to start to associate pleasure to the process. For me, I always reinforce myself. I always reward myself for doing the littlest things. If I go to the gym, which I did today, I'm patting myself on the back. I'm saying, good job, Stefan. I'm giving myself pleasure. I'm thanking myself. I'm being grateful for myself. I also recommend doing a 30-day challenge or a 100-day challenge. I'm a big fan of that. If you're a part of my Morning Ritual Mastery program, then you guys know that I have the 30-day Morning Ritual Challenge. And I cover a lot in that on how to make sure that you stick with new habits and that they're lasting. But for the most part, the ultimate place to be in, as I mentioned in the previous video, is finding a way to love the process, love it. Like, I love going to the gym, guys. I'm addicted to it. I can't not go to the gym. Like, I haven't taken a day off from the gym, and I can't even tell you how long, because I just need to go every day. It's just a habit for me now, that it's very challenging. Same thing in my business. I need to, I've been putting out YouTube videos almost every day now, and it's like an addiction. I can't slow down. This is my second video today, actually. I published a YouTube video on productivity a few hours ago, but I just want to give more. I'm obsessed with that. I link so much pleasure to being able to help people, and it's really rewarding for me. So finding a way to love it, enjoy the process, that's the best place to be in. All right, Elliot Hulse Jr., you didn't tweet me a question, but if you have a specific question, make sure you include the question in the tweet. And by the way, Elliot Hulse is an awesome guy. Two of my friends are actually Matt Gallant, who I interviewed earlier this week, whatever. He's actually business partners with Elliot Hulse. So if you guys follow Elliot Hulse on YouTube, you know, he's a really great guy. And my friends work with him and do business with him as well. They do the marketing for him and everything. Julius Michael says, hey, Stefan, when will you be releasing the Amazon FBA paid version course? So I don't have any plans on creating a course on Amazon FBA. And the reason for that is there's just no point. I recommend the Amazing Selling Machine. That's the course that I went through. They're the masters at that. They have their proven track record. They have, you know, there are thousands and thousands of students that have been through the program that have had massive success. And so I'd much rather recommend them than go and create my own. There's just no point. If there's something that adds value to people and is that good, you know, why do I need to create something? I just share with people, hey guys, this is the program that you guys need to go through. So the Amazon FBA, I don't have any intentions of creating a course on that. I might create a complimentary program in the future that might teach some marketing strategies that can complement that. I do still have plans for something like that, but that's not going to be an immediate thing for me right now. Right now, I'm actually working on a new online training program that's going to be on affiliate marketing. And I do have a video that's going to come out maybe tomorrow or the next few days that's actually going to share the process of that, because I realized, you know, one of my goals I mentioned in my 100-day challenge is to create a new online training program and launch it by July 9th. And so I'm going to be heavily focused on that over the next few weeks or next few months. And I thought, why not kind of video blog and share the journey that I go through to create this program? And so that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm recording some videos along the way. I'm going to share with you guys, all right, here's what I'm going through. I came up with the name of the program. Here's the logo. And I'm going to ask for you guys for your feedback on the logo and everything as well. So I'm going to be documenting and sharing on my YouTube channel the process that I go through to create this new online training program. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm really starting to focus on this right now. I've actually started turning down some you know, one-on-one coaching clients and everything, because I don't want any distractions. I want to immerse myself fully so that it could be the best product out there and really add a lot of value and change a lot of people's lives. And also, once I launched my free course, and if you guys haven't been through my free course yet, I recommend that you do so. Just go to projectlifemastery.com/free course. It's a free course that shared the 7 online business models that I've benefited from, and it's really changed my life. And yeah, I got a lot of good feedback on that, and I was able to see which business model people are the most interested in besides Kindle publishing, because I already have some amazing courses on Kindle publishing. And so that's why affiliate marketing, I feel I've got a really good method that I can teach and share with people to help people that are brand new start making money online through affiliate marketing. So that's a course that will be available. It's my next project that will be available before July 9th, because that's when the goal from a 100-day challenge ends. Sage Cameron on Twitter says, what was the moment you knew you made it big? I don't really consider myself big. It's an interesting question, you guys. I'm just a guy. I'm not bigger or better than anyone that's watching this video. I've just maybe had more time at this than you guys have, right? Maybe you guys are just starting your journey right now, starting your journey to self-development, starting your journey to online marketing or building a business. And I'm not better or different than any of you guys. I just had more time at it. That's the way that I've always seen it. Ever since I was 17 years old, that's when I got into self-development. I've been ever since 17. I'm 29 now. I'm turning 30 on May 3rd, so within about 2 weeks or so. But I've been massively just focused on improving myself and just learning and actually doing what I learn, actually applying what I'm learning from all these different people that I'm learning from. And same thing with business. I started when I was 21 years old. I started my first internet business when I was 23, 24 years old. So I've just had more time at it. But I think for me, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting question. I mean, there's no moment that I just all of a sudden realized that I made it big. And maybe part of the reason why I don't really feel that I'm big is because there's always people that are much further ahead. And that's one thing you always have to realize and recognize, is that There's always people doing better than you. You can never really compare yourself with other people, but there's always people that are further ahead. And so you always want to try to, stay humble. And I'm someone that I'm just trying to help people with what I can and what I've learned throughout the years. And if people respond to it, people enjoy the way that I teach, if people enjoy listening to me and hearing from me, then I'm going to do more of it. And that's just kind of how I've always approached things. When did you have your break? This is from Jesper Noren. When did you have your breakthrough in self-development, self-improvement, and what was the trigger for it? All right, I love this question. I'll be a little bit vulnerable with you guys for a minute. So as I mentioned before, I started self-improvement when I was 17 years old. What kind of sparked that at the time, I remember specifically when I was like, first I'll give you some background. When I was like 14 to maybe 17, I was really into video games. Like that was my whole life. Once I went to high school, I didn't really go to high school that much because I skipped a lot. I was just very shy, very introverted. I just felt very uncomfortable. My parents, moved a few times, so I went to 3 different high schools. And it's always a challenge when you go to a new school because, you're kind of like the outsider, especially midway through the year. You're an outsider. It's very hard to get into the different cliques and different groups and make friends and everything because a lot of people in high school, they've been friends with people since elementary school and for many years. And so for me, I was always very uncomfortable. And so I avoided school and I got really into video games. And, I used to play, I'm not going to go into the games and stuff, but I used to spend like literally, from morning till night playing video games. I'd stay up all night playing video games. It was such an addiction for me. And there was this girl that ended up meeting online, this girl that used to play this online game with and everything. And I remember at the time, this is when I was like 15 years old, I fell in love with this girl. It was like the first time I ever fell in love, right? Or at least I thought I was in love. And so I, became obsessed and all this sort of thing. And long story short, it didn't work out. And I got my heart broken. And I remember I was just depressed after that. The first time I ever, felt extreme pain like that, where, when you're that young, you believe like it's the end of the world, right? And I remember for me, I just hit rock bottom. I got to a point where I was just so unhappy. I was so depressed. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked at my life and I said, I don't have any friends. I don't have, a girlfriend. I'm not popular. Nobody knows that I exist. I just felt so insignificant. And I finally made a decision where I just hit that emotional threshold and I decided that I must change. I must change. I'll do whatever it takes. And I just refused from that point on to settle. And at the time, I discovered Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins introduced me to self-development and this whole idea that I can improve myself, I could change. Because before then, I never really believed that I could change. I just thought this is who you are. You can't, I'm just going to be myself and this is just who I am for the rest of my life. And Tony Robbins made me believe that I could change. I could become anything that I want to be and I can improve myself. And also at the same time, I discovered the whole dating community, and there's a specific person by the name of David D'Angelo. And if you're a guy watching this and you're in the date, about dating and stuff, you'll probably recognize the name David D'Angelo. His real name is Evan Pagan. David D'Angelo is actually a pen name, and he wrote an ebook called Double Your Dating. Okay, Double Your Dating. And I remember I got this ebook, 17 years old. Okay, and I learned about dating. I learned how by improving your confidence and your social skills, you can attract a girl into your life. And I learned that, this is what women are attracted to. They're attracted to men that are confident, men that are decisive, men that are masculine, men that are, a certain way, that have a certain personality and everything. And so I got really into that and I learned about that. And, when you're 17 years old, usually your goals at that time or just to get a girlfriend and be popular and stuff. And so that's kind of what sparked me on my journey of self-improvement. And that was a breakthrough. And I've had many moments like that along the way of just hitting rock bottom and, hitting that emotional threshold. And really those moments are the best moments in your life because they force you to make new decisions and go in different directions, which can lead you down a different path. Even, for example, when I got into internet marketing, I hit rock bottom and with other business that I had, and it forced me to make a new decision to start selling ebooks online. So at the end of the day, it's all really valuable and important. Okay, Elliot Hulse Jr. has got a question. how did you come up with your pricing point on coaching people? Okay, really great question. I will mention that I've actually been coaching people ever since I was about 20, 21 years old. When I was, the first coaching that I ever did was helping other guys improve their confidence and their social skills. And so I made a big transformation early in my life, and I just immersed myself in making these changes. And when I was 20 years old, I was living in a house with 4 other friends. And we were all, into self-improvement and everything. We used to have these weekly meetings where we share our goals and hold each other accountable and all this sort of stuff. And there was this one guy who was struggling, with shyness and social anxiety and wanted to meet people and all this sort of stuff. And he offered to pay me $300 to take him out for a weekend and help him and coach him. And I was just blown away by the idea that I could make money actually coaching and helping someone. And so I did it. And then when I also worked for another guy doing some coaching, and we traveled around in New York and Toronto and different cities. And I was just kind of his assistant coach and helping him with coaching people with confidence and social skills. And then when I was 21 years old, I had a roommate who was like, dude, you got to create your own business. You got to start doing more of this stuff because a lot of people are benefiting from this, and you have these amazing gifts that you can really help other people with. And so when I was 21, I started a business called Lifestyle Transformations. I ended up starting with 2 other friends. So there was 3 of us that started this business, and we started doing public speaking in Vancouver and coaching. And usually when I first started, I actually try to just do coaching for free, because I believe in what I recommend for coaches is you just want to build your portfolio. You want to gain experience. You want to improve your skills and your ability as a coach. You also want to get testimonials, success stories, make sure that what you're teaching actually works for people and actually benefits people before you charge money for it. And then from there, when I'd work with people, it was usually based on what people could afford to pay me, right? So because other people will tell you what your value is, right? You're as valuable as what people are willing to pay, which is a very important thing. If people are willing to pay this a certain price point, then that's what your value is. If they're not willing to pay that, then your value is less than that. And so what happened was, that was a previous business, and what I did was I just slowly increased my prices as time goes on. As the demand for myself increased, I raised the prices. So for example, when I was 21 years old, you probably could have gotten coaching from me for like $30 an hour. But then once I got busy with that and I built myself up, then I started charging $50 an hour, and then $75 an hour, and then $100 an hour. And then as I became more in demand, I just raised my prices more and more as my time became more valuable, as I started earning more money. And then also, it's also based on what your time is worth as well. And a really fantastic way to find out what your time is worth is you take the amount of money that you earn in a year and you divide that by, there's a certain number. I wish I could share that with you guys. Maybe look it up. But there's a certain way to identify what your time is worth by taking the amount of money that you earn. You divide that by, I believe there's a certain number of hours, depending on how many hours that you work a week, and you can identify how much your time is worth. So for example, if you make $1 million a year, your time every hour, if you work 40 hours a week, is worth $500 an hour. So the more money you make, the more valuable you become, because your time is just worth more as well. Okay, Ruben de Norana has a question. Advice for a 15-year-old. Plus, have you changed your morning ritual, or is it still the same till date? First of all, man, congrats for being 15 and actually being here to ask me a question, and for wanting to improve yourself and being a follower and watching my videos. You're further ahead than I was. Really at 15 years old, I will just say the only advice I can give you is just really recognize you and acknowledge you for having your priorities straight. At 15 years old, the fact that you're wanting to improve yourself and grow, you're further ahead than all your peers. And so my only advice that I have for you, man, is just continue improving yourself. Work harder on yourself than anything else. Work harder on yourself than at your job, at your school, or anything else, and just focus on growing, because a lot of the things you're going to learn from school or maybe your environment that you're in, because a lot of people don't have the most ideal environment. Maybe your friends or your peers or your family isn't the most ideal environment to help you grow. You need to find other mentors, similar to as you have on YouTube, reading books, maybe going to seminars, going through different programs and things like that. That's, I believe, one of the best ways that you can grow at your age. And just make sure that whatever you're learning, you apply it. You know, definitely learn, that's very important, but applying and taking action is a lot more important than learning. Oftentimes I see a lot of people, they're just learning all the time, but they're not doing anything with what they learn. And there gets to a point where learning becomes an unhealthy addiction because it prevents you from taking action. You know, so for example, if you wanted to really improve your social skills, you know, are you going to really improve them by reading books and learning how to meet people and how to be confident, all that sort of stuff? No, you're going to learn more by going out there and approaching people, talking to people, going to the street and, you know, facing your fears. That's where all the growth is. You're going to learn 10 times more by facing your fears and actually taking action and implementing things than you ever will from a book or a program or anything like that. So learn, but also take as much action as possible. And have I changed my morning ritual, or is it still the same till date? Yeah, my morning ritual always evolves. It's always changing. It's always flexible. It's dynamic. I never really do the same thing, you know, forever. And that's a very important thing. And this is something I do mention a lot in my morning ritual mastery program, how you have to switch it up. But my morning ritual and what I teach inside morning ritual mastery is that your morning ritual has to consist of 3 primary things. It has to basically be part of your physical body every single day. Do something to take care of your body, your health, your physical fitness. You always have to take care of your body every day because your body affects everything in your life. If you take care of your health, you're going to be more productive. You're going to have a better mindset. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Your health is very important. Also something for your mind or psychology, whether that's gratitude or asking certain questions or changing your state or conditioning beliefs, changing different beliefs or inner conflicts you might have within yourself, affirmations, incantations, whatever. And then also something for your spirit. And that spirit is that part of yourself that's beyond your mind and your body. And depending on your spiritual practice, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's gratitude. You know, maybe it's giving every day and contributing beyond yourself that activates that part of yourself, that spirit within yourself. So my morning ritual, it always does change, but those 3 essence, those 3 core things, my body, my mind, my spirit, I'm always doing something every single day, part of my morning ritual to build that. Okay, Simon has a question. I have trouble getting started in the morning, but once I start, I keep going. Any tips on getting things going? Well, really, you know, the answer is just to do it, right? As you recognize that if you can just get yourself to do it, then you have an easier time keeping things going. So it's almost like jumping into a swimming pool, right? That first, you know, if you try to, you know, dip your toes in or whatever, it's going to take forever. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to hesitate. You're not going to get the day started. You've got to jump in. And that's why, again, it's important to have a morning ritual. Morning ritual solves, like, honestly, most people's problems. Because if you have a really good morning ritual is something that prepares you for your day, prepares you for all those things that you have to do. And oftentimes, a lot of people, they don't take action, they don't do what they know because they're not in the right state. What a morning ritual does is it ignites you, it turns you on, it puts you in that peak state, because when you're in the right state, you're unstoppable. When you're in the right state, you can get yourself to do anything. You can take the actions necessary to move closer towards your goals. If you're not in a good state, if you're hesitant, if you're fearful, if you're doubtful, if you're tired, these are all states that are going to lead you to procrastinating. It's going to lead you to being in a state of comfort and wanting to stay in that comfort zone and not want to get the day started. So what you really need is you need a morning ritual that will help you be in a peak state. Oftentimes for me, if I catch myself that, you know, I'm not in the state, I'm procrastinating, I'll change my state, because if I change my state, then I'll naturally do what I need to do. So shift your state, have a morning ritual. If you need further help with this, I do recommend morningritualmastery.com, my online training program. It's very inexpensive, and it will help you create your own morning ritual, and it'll also help you be accountable, and it will help you identify the beliefs, because it sounds like if you have a hard time taking action, it's because you have inner conflicts. You know, you want to make progress towards your goals, but you also are afraid to fail. You know, you're also afraid of success. You also want to be comfortable. That's an inner conflict because the two don't go together. So you need to identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from taking action in the morning, and then you need to create a morning ritual that will help you change those beliefs and condition yourself to be the way you want to be and live the life you want to live. And my Morning Ritual Mastery program covers that. And you know, again, it's an amazing resource that will help you get started with that. Okay, Christian has a question on Twitter. What is the first step in changing your life? The first step is basically accepting that, basically the awareness and the accepting that you're not where you want to be. You know, in order to get to where you want to go, you always have to identify where you are first and then where you want to be. And there's always a gap. And the gap is something you can close just by identifying the right strategy. But I think first you've got to recognize and just understand that you're not happy with where you are right now. You have to get to a point where you finally get satiated, or you hit rock bottom and you hit that emotional threshold and you make a decision. You make a decision that you're going to do whatever it takes to change your life, that you're not going to go backwards, you're only going to go forward. So getting to that point, understanding, okay, I've accepted the fact, I'm ready to change, I'm deciding, that's the most important step, the first step in changing your life. Julia says, thanks, I'll definitely check out the course. Have you ever considered being a dragon on Dragon's Den? No, I personally haven't. Dragon's Den is similar to Shark Tank, but it's in Canada, and also I believe the UK as well. But I haven't personally, just because I'm not looking for any investors. I don't like having any partners in my businesses. I like to own it fully, and I like to self-fund my businesses. I don't like to borrow money from people or be at the mercy of other people in any way. But it is a great show, Shark Tank, Dragon's Den. Fantastic shows because you learn a lot about business in the process. Cool. Young I Ammer says, hi, Stefan, I'm James, and I'm 17, and I started your course when I was 15. All I can say is thank you so much. You helped me start. Awesome, man. Happy to hear that, James. Keep it up. Starting at 15 and now 17, you're on the right path, man. Keep it up. And by the way, if you guys are live right now and you have your questions and you're just joining me, you guys can tweet them to me on Twitter. My Twitter handles are below. I got two different Twitter accounts. And use the hashtag AskStefan, okay? Hashtag AskStefan. That will allow me to see your tweets and answer your questions. I will also answer some YouTube comment questions as well. But again, you have to use the hashtag AskStefan for me to answer them. And make sure that you're spelling my name correctly, because some people spell my name with a PH and it's with an F. So S-T-E-F-A-N. Okay, Young I Ammer says, my question for you is, can you give us a hint on what your new online business course is going to be? Can't wait for it. Yes, I did kind of mention, but it's going to be on affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing gives you the ability to promote other people's products as an affiliate and earn a commission in doing so. And I mentioned before that, I've kind of seen this as what people are interested in, and I'm going to be sharing the journey, the process of the creation of it along the way as well. So you guys will be able to see what goes behind the scenes of me creating the online training program. Okay, and a question from Akshay Gandhi is, how to manage money as an internet entrepreneur and especially new Kindle publisher? Okay, good question. Really, when you're first, I can share what I did for myself, and this might be relevant to most people, because what I do now is much, much different than what I did when I started with business in general. Typically, when most people, when they start a business, they're operating as a sole proprietor, which basically means that you're operating and selling under yourself. So, you are selling your products or your Kindle books or whatever under your own name. Okay, I'm not talking about the pen name or anything, but you as the person are the company. And your KDP account, that's in your name. The money that you earn is sent to your own personal bank account. That's how most people start when they operate their business. And so as a result of that, your money is kind of pooled together with maybe the money that you're earning from your job or your career or whatever it might be. And it is important, I will say, to separate the two. And at a certain point, you want to set up a corporation or an LLC, some sort of separate entity that's separate than yourself. So for me, for example, I have Stefan, myself, my own personal bank accounts, my own personal money, but then I also have another entity called Project Life Mastery Incorporated. Okay, that's my main primary company that I have, and I also have some other companies that are subsidiaries under that. And so it's a lot easier when you separate the two, because your business is going to earn a certain amount of money. You want to make sure that you don't just use all that money to pay for yourself and your expenses and your own personal life and everything. So what I often recommend for people is try to separate the two. Number one, track all of your income and expenses. All right, all your income that you receive from your job, from your business and everything, track it at least in an Excel spreadsheet. If you want some more advanced tracking, you can invest in QuickBooks or some sort of bookkeeping software. Track all of your income. You should know every single week, every single month, okay, this is how much that I'm earning. You have to track it. You have to measure it. You also have to track all of your expenses, all your personal expenses, as well as all of your business expenses as well. So track, I spent $67 to buy Stefan's course. I, paid $5 or $10 to get a cover created. I paid $100, $200 to get a book created. You want to track all those things in that spreadsheet or in that QuickBooks. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that the money that you're earning from your publishing business, you don't want to just, waste that money and spend it on groceries or a TV bill or whatever it is. That's often a big mistake that a lot of new internet entrepreneurs make. The money that you're earning, you want to reinvest back into your business so that you can grow. Again, it's always looking at the long term. If you're looking at the short term, a lot of people, they just take the money they earn and they just use that to support their lifestyle. And oftentimes people that are in that position where they're so desperate in their lives, they're just trying to get rich quick. That's the worst place to be in when you're trying to grow a business. You have to take the long-term approach and understand that your business is a separate entity. The money that you earned, you don't want to just use that to pay yourself. You want to use that to grow the business, because the potential of growing that is going to lead to a lot more success and money as well. So really the main thing is making sure you track everything, making sure you're strategic and about reinvesting money back into your business. I'd recommend if you are going to pay yourself and you do need the money, then pay yourself maybe a certain percentage, whether that's 10% of whatever your business earns, 20%, 30%, whatever it is that you feel is right for you. Oftentimes, with any new business, you're going to have to invest some of your own personal money to get it started, right? So you're going to have to invest maybe a couple $100 of your own money just to get profit your business generates. Maybe that's 10 or 20% to pay yourself back that initial money that you use to fund the business. But you ultimately want to be in a place where your business can support itself. Your business can fund itself, and you don't have to invest your own money back into your business. The business just reinvests the money that it earns and grows, and then just pays yourself a certain percentage of whatever the business generates. Another question is, how do you manage your multiple projects using mobile app? I don't really use mobile apps to manage multiple projects, so I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. I use my calendar on my phone to schedule in certain things, but often for the most part, I try to focus on one main project at a time. I do have a bunch of smaller projects going on, but I usually outsource a lot of those things now. So I have a really awesome team where they handle a lot of the other projects, and then I just maybe have to check in on the progress and how things are going at least once a week, or just kind of work with them a little bit of time here and there. But for the most part, I try to focus on one main project. I do have multiple goals going on, and I just track my goals and I schedule in certain days of the week, certain times where I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work on my business, when I'm going to spend time with my girlfriend. I schedule things in, and really the main app that I use for that is just my calendar on my iPhone. I do use Evernote just for planning out my day as well, but there's really nothing more to it. Nigel Von Dixon has a question. How have you leveraged social media to grow your business? I have a team, and I don't try to do everything on my own. I surround myself with people that can help me grow my business. So I have an amazing team. One particular person who's my social media manager, who focuses on posting content, posting and reposting content that I've already produced. I also have a PPC guy who does pay-per-click advertising, who does Facebook ads on social media as well. So just having a team, that's the main thing. And I'm always learning as well. I just bought an Instagram course last week that I went through, and I'm always buying different trainings, and I give that to my team and say, hey guys, let's improve our systems. Let's improve what we're doing. Just the other day, actually, we just started using ScheduleGram, which basically gives you the ability to schedule your Instagram posts. So we're always learning, and that's a great thing now. Having a team is I can give them certain training, they can learn, they're able to improve the systems that I have in my business. But you can't do everything on your own. You have to start with one or two things and then slowly build up. And again, that's why it's important, the money that you earn, reinvest some of that back into your business so that you can grow faster. And that's what I've done. The money that I earn, guys, I reinvest it. I reinvest it back into my business so that I can grow more, so I can help you guys more, I can add more value to you guys, and really make a difference. Vegeta has a question. Vegeta, cool. I used to be a Dragon Ball Z fan as well. But the question is, how do I avoid bullying? It's a really good question. I actually watched a really good documentary. I forget what it was called. It was on bullying, and I made some contributions to a certain charity on it. I wish I could remember the name, but it was on Netflix, and it was on bullying. I think there's a few things that you can do. Number one is understand that who you spend time with is who you become. And by surrounding yourself with people that are negative, people that are a negative influence on you, that are trying to put you down, those are the people you want to try to avoid, okay? I avoid people that are negative. If you're negative, you can't be my friend. If you're negative on my social media, you're gone. If you're negative on my YouTube channel, you're gone. I just have no tolerance towards that. You know, one thing that Jim Rohn says is that you have to stand guard at the door of your mind, because one little negative idea, one little negative thought can affect you. You know, some of the things that, you know, of who you are today are a result of maybe certain negative things that might have happened 5 or 10 years ago. Those one little thought or what that person said can affect you. So you have to stand guard at the door of your mind and really be selective about who you surround yourself with. I know that, you know, oftentimes when you're in school and stuff, you want to be around the cool kids and be around people that are popular and all that. And some people, they still hang around with people that bully them and stuff, and they think that they're their friends, but really they're not. You know, they're still teasing them or making fun of them. And personally, you just got to get away from that, man. You got to find people that can support you, that are positive, that are going to encourage you, that can help you grow and love and encourage you in the process. So that'd be one thing that I recommend, is try to avoid people like that. If you see bullies around and people, just avoid them, man. It's not worth your time. You got to be the bigger person. Understand that if someone's a bully, it's because they're unhappy with themselves. They feel insignificant. Their way of feeling significant or important is by putting other people down. So understand that they're very, very insecure, and you should actually feel sorry for those people. You shouldn't, you know, you should forgive them. Don't hold resentment or anything like that towards them. It's like what Nelson Mandela says, is that resentment is like you drinking poison and then expecting the other person to die, and it doesn't work that way. So don't resent people, forgive people, love people in general, surround yourself with the right people, focus on improving yourself, improve your self-esteem, make sure this bullying, negativity, it doesn't affect who you are. Don't take any, you know, personal meaning to that in any way, and really focus on improving your confidence and self-esteem. Also, if you're a guy, and, you know, knowing what I know now, if I could go back to high school, I would invest in improving my confidence through like martial arts, working out, training. That was one thing that really gave me a boost. I'm really big into fitness now, but when I was young, I was very, very skinny and I didn't have a lot of confidence, but I eventually got into, you know, lifting weights. I found that being bigger, and not that I'm big now or anything, but it just gave me more confidence in myself. Also, I did like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, and I did Taekwondo at some point. When you can defend yourself, it gives you more confidence because it makes you feel like, man, I can handle anything. So if you can invest in, you know, spending some time and learn how to defend yourself, learn how to fight, not that you have to use it, you know, I'm not recommending to fight or anything like that, but just to give you that confidence to defend yourself. If anything did happen, you know that you don't have to worry that much. Tim Cook says, can you please do an updated apartment tour? Really inspiring to see. Well, I'm actually traveling right now. I have for the last 3 months. I don't know when I'll be back in Vancouver, but I do have many, many videos on my YouTube channel with my apartment that you can go through and check. Will you make an updated video on how you plan your day for productivity? Is it the same? Yes, it's the same. There's nothing new or that revolutionary about it. Oh, I got someone here at the door, guys. But it is the same for the most part. All right, guys, I'm actually going to end this call because it's gone over and someone's at the door. But I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully you guys received a lot of value. If you guys have future questions, make sure you tweet them to me using hashtag AskStefan or leave them comments on YouTube videos. But again, use that hashtag. But thank you guys so much. Look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a lot of the videos I've been releasing. And I really appreciate you guys and any of the comments, the likes, all the love that you guys send me. So thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.